Right. I tell you what, guys, shall we stick a track on and then we'll settle in and then we'll have a chat?
Yeah, definitely.
I was going to start. I thought you'd be coming in straight on 8, so I was going to start off with Sim Distance from the Sun, but up to you if you want to change that. And
I don't mind. I don't mind whatever you guys prefer. I'm assuming you're a big fan of Dark Valley. You love the album.
You will be about to get a listen.
You're about to get a listen. Your first exposure. Is he prepared? Have you prepared him for this?
I prepared him for nothing. He's
the best way. Straight in.
You know, the Def Leppard track you played earlier, that's the first time I've heard a song by Def Leppard knowing that it was from Def Leppard.
There you go, see? We were
listening to that on the car on the way down, funnily enough.
It was a great tune.
Because I was expecting you to be prompt, so I thought, I don't need to get anything ready, and then I was searching for the tracks. So
well, we're rock stars. I mean, come on now.
They're in a pub, man. What's going on? Right, okay, we'll kick off with the track now, and then we'll have a chat. Here we go. Right, okay, and we are back. This is the RT Rock Show, 106.5 FM, Radio Tircoed. That was Dark Valley, Same Distance from the Sun. Now, how's it going, guys, first of all? You've just rushed in your last minute, and so we're settled now. It's
chaos out there, mate.
So the
with Santa outside and everything, it is just, it's this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah,
it brings the best and worst out of people.
I'm sensing Christmas cheer coming from there.
Definitely, yeah. Bar humbug.
Because you've come away, haven't you? You're Cardiff way?
We
the valley
are
somewhere?
north of Cardiff. I live in a little a mining village. A mining village. No, a place called Ystrad Mynach, if you've ever heard of that.
Right, yeah.
It's just around the corner from Nelson, really. About 15 odd minutes away from Caerphilly. David lives in Newport.
Oh, great,
So for my sins.
Jeez,
for your sins.
So it's a fair trek.
Everything's changed now.
You've done well. Like I live 2 minutes up the road and I can't get you on time half the time. So fair
I know.
play.
So yeah, it's a bit of touch and go, but it always is touch and go with us. That's the way we live on the edge.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a Aerosmith song. But anyway,
touch and go. Next album. Right. First of all, obviously. That song there, we've played that before. Before you had, obviously, we've been, as I said earlier, trying to arrange an interview for a while, I've been off quite often. You guys have been busy, and obviously it's quite far to come. You released self-titled album.
Yeah,
it's been out a while now, and as I say, it's we ideally would have liked to got together straight away after the release, but such is
life, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It prevents us from doing what we love.
But it's been out a while now.
Yeah.
How has the response been? Are you happy with how everything is with it? And
it's been quite overwhelming, to be honest. It's very much a self-titled, it's very much a self-produced album, self-recorded. We spent probably the best part of 6 months recording all of the tracks, bringing it all together. Me spending about 2 months in my study mixing and doing all the mastering.
Because we're broke. In a cave
we got no money, so we've got to try and get it out somehow.
Well,
I think we're largely pleased with the results.
Yes.
We've had some great response from people, our peers in other bands, as well as local community, basically commenting on it, saying it was very, very professional product. They loved the tunes on it. So yeah, I'm more than happy, really, really ecstatic, and gives us more impetus to write more stuff. In fact, we are already writing the second album. Not quite as we speak, because we're here interviewing, and that would be a little difficult.
I don't know.
Pen and paper ready.
You see that Simpsons thing where he's sort of always whistling in his head? That could be you. You
can see it. You can see it. You're very perceptive.
You strike me as the type of guy who doesn't stop anyway. You sort of.
I never stop.
Yeah.
I'm always on the go, doing one thing or another. It's crazy.
Nice.
But it's all good. It's all good.
We'll move on to the album that later on. But obviously, Jamie, you've been on before, and we've talked to you. Dafydd, how's it going?
Yeah,
You're obviously. I know that you've had a few lineup changes, what have you. This is you're sort of settled on a lineup now, and you're happy.
This is Mark 6.
We give Purple a run for their money now. Yeah. How did you get in the band? And
it was a Facebook post. They were looking for a bass player about just over a year ago now, actually.
And I replied,
and
pretty much is.
We had a bit of a jam, and I got to know the songs and stuff, and
Fact of the matter, I didn't let him go.
Locked
him in a room. You're learning the songs.
That's a lead on your foot there as you walked in.
See this here, right? Attached to me. He's not going.
That's why the drummer's not here. He's locked in the basement.
We don't let the drummer out because we fear he's going to make a run for it.
Well, you say
daylight and everything.
You say that. I found years ago the drummers seem to be hard to come up with. It seems like bass players are more in demand these days. It's crazy. Like bass players were everywhere years ago. And it's just nobody's.
It's crazy because you're probably about the third or fourth bass player I auditioned, and it just seemed to work. You learnt the songs, came up, played them, and it's a chemistry now that actually works between the three of us in the band.
You've been with the drummer. I forget his name now.
Marcel
for longer again now.
Yeah.
He's been so you're happy now and settled, and it's
very much a settled unit now.
Excellent.
It's quite an organic process of one of us will have a bit of an idea or something, and we start jamming before we do the run through of the set that we do and stuff. So that's where some of the songs can sort of come from.
I'd imagine triple whammy. That's so much easier and so much better to get together and just blast some things out. And it's just
absolutely, we're in the middle of writing our third album as we speak. Funnily enough,
it's writing is the easiest as recording is the hard work.
Tell me about it. Yeah. Tell me about it. Look, sleepless nights. You know, you get used to that. I do not envy any recording engineer's job. I tell you, I've got much renewed appreciation for what they do.
Did you know that there are some guys out there who actually choose to do that? Did you know that?
No way. I know. I'm sorry. I don't buy them.
It's pretty wild. Right. Well, we'll crack on and get some ads to stick on in a bit. But the song we just played, I was going to play. I thought you might come in straight away.
Our entrance music.
I thought I'd blast that. That's the opener of the album. Yeah. Basically, got an intro track as well. You know, tell us a bit about the song and is it locked in with the theme of the album, or is it just why did you pick it as an opener? Or
it's funny because the album has absolutely no theme whatsoever. In complete honesty, it's just a collection of songs that. But Dark Valley has been pretty much my brainchild for the last sort of 4 years anyway. And as you mentioned previously, the band has had various lineups. Sometimes it's been literally myself in a band writing and recording songs. But Same Distance especially, that is my reflection on society and actually with Brexit and the elections coming up, quite timely.
That's a light way to start an album.
It is, isn't it? Don't go straight in there.
Put people off for life by saying
how many listeners you got now?
Just 3. Went down to 0, so we're on -1 now. What's going on? So how that happened, but yeah.
But no, it's very much my take on society and the lack of acceptance for individuals, people. I've worked with in my professional career. I'm a software engineer. Up until recently, I ran my own consultancy company, and I've worked with many groups of organisations of people. And that's my reflection on how various groups of societies and things like collections of people of the same sexuality, maybe of the same religion, and there's people's lack of acceptance of the fact that everyone's different on this planet. But we are all on this planet, so surely we can all get along. Surely it's not hard. It's actually more, it takes you more energy and more effort to actually hate on a particular group than what it does to actually just accept them for who they are, live your life, enjoy your life.
So
we only have one crack at this, lads. So,
I did a party in Peckham about 3 weeks ago on a Saturday night.
Yeah, sorry. Just a bit closer.
Oh, sorry. I did a party in Peckham about 3 weeks ago on a Saturday night. And it was great to see the 28 black people who were there and the 35 mainly white people who were there as well, dancing to every single tune I played, including rock music, house music, reggae, soul, whatever it was, everyone enjoyed it. So there was no hang on, don't dance that because you come from a certain kind of culture or group. Man, people were digging Bad Company, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, people got more in common than they have not in common. They just don't realise it. Yeah,
exactly.
That's the thing about music, isn't it? It brings people together.
Do you know I was speaking to my niece the other day. She's only young, and something occurred to me, but I didn't mention it to her. But I thought, the sort of rock community. It's such a you can go all over the country and speak to people, and before you know it, you've got friends all over the place, and it's such a close knit sort of thing. And I don't know how it works in other styles of music, but the rock and metal community is just it's nothing quite like it. It's bonkers. I've met people all over, and I could walk down the street somewhere and some guy will come over and start chatting to me. I'll be thinking, what the hell do I know him from? It's just some guy you've met somewhere, and it's
I found my way in a radio station thinking, what am I doing here?
That's exactly what happened to me. Right, I tell you what, we'll stick another track on.
On that bombshell. How many viewers you got now?
I know, yeah. Sure.
What am I talking about?
Because I've gone under the table now, I can't see. Do you want to stick on Who's Laughing Now Part 2 then?
Yeah, let's stick that
on. What I'm going to do, I'll stick this on, I'll cut to some ads then, and we'll come back and have a chat about it. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
So this is Part 2, not Part 1?
Not Part 1, you've played Part 1, I think. Part 2, you need to do Part 2 now.
Here we go. Right, we are back to the RT Rock Show 106.5 FM. We are joined in the studio by 2/3, is it, of Dark Fast? Some good maths, isn't it? Yeah. So.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Jamie and Dafydd. Guys, we played Who's Laughing Now Part 2 just before the ad break. Do you just want to tell us a little bit about that before we crack on?
Yeah, it's basically part 2 to Who's Laughing Now?
Part 1? Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, are they linked?
Yeah, they are very much linked. They basically tell a story of somebody growing up and always told he was going to be an underachiever, always told by various people in society that, look, you're never going to, you might as well sort of aspire to be this kind of person because it's so hard to make anything in the world. And it's about that sort of breakthrough moment when you actually do it's the self-realization that actually you can make something of yourself. Put in the hard work, you can reap the rewards, right place at the right time, make the best of opportunities. And that's a part 1 and part 2 sort of transcend in the sense that part 2 is more of a reflection of somebody looking at somebody that didn't make it, that actually came from the same social background and social awareness that they did. So it's their sort of take on that story, if that makes sense. I'm probably waffling now.
No. Yeah. Is this something? Is this something personal? Or are you writing from the outside? Or are these? I mean, for the whole album, then
right.
Some of the lyrics do seem quite personal too.
How many listeners do you have?
I can switch off if you want.
It's very much based on. I think almost everything so far is based on my own personal experience. I find it hard to write from a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's always got to be something that happens in my life, something that's influenced me, or some kind of impetus to write a song. Song for me has to have a reason to exist in the first place. It's almost like, for me, it's almost like a bit of like self-therapy to get things out of my mind that have either gone on in my life or things I'm concerned or worried about. I'll just invariably write a riff or a song about it, play it to the lads. They say, the hell's that? They'll rewrite it for me. Yeah.
Is that how it works typically? Are you mainly the lyric writer? Do you all jam riffs, or do you email them into each other? Is that sort of something that a lot of bands end up doing these days?
Well, it's in honesty, it's mainly me that comes up with the initial idea. The first album is like 90% my stuff anyway, because as I say, I've been doing this for quite a while, much longer than David or Marcel, so it's not really sort of fair in that sense. So I think the sixth album we're writing now, is it? It's going to be much more of a. In fact, it's already started with a few of the newer tracks we're writing now. Is very much a collaborative effort. I'll sort of bring a riff in, and if everyone's feeling it, we'll start sort of jamming it out. We'll have that sort of discussion, and how does it make us feel? What gives us the reason to actually play it? Out of that sort of develops a story or a reason for exist. Again, I normally tie it to some past experience that I've gone through or something like that, yada yada, and then it'll just develop over time into a song. In fact, there's quite a few of the songs on the album a little bit different to the way I wrote them, because during rehearsals we changed things up. I've always told the guys when they've come in to play for me, what you've heard previously, you don't have to stick to that. It really is just an idea, is just a template. You have complete freedom to do what you want, because there's no point in having other musicians in the band. I can have, of course, like I'm bringing session players and stuff. But
exactly.
Yeah. Well, you could. Yeah.
Well said.
I don't know. You
I told him to rehearse that in the car on the way down.
Alex, you play the bass anyway. You could easily just slap down the line on the recording. Live, you can get a guy in, but like you say, it's
exactly.
It's a band.
There's nothing really in that for me.
Yeah.
I'd much prefer the vibe and the energy of three people, because it's the individuals that make the band, not the one person.
Cool, and it seems to be working well.
Well, we've got an album. What more are you expecting?
Well, do you know?
Sorry, come down, cause trouble, and go off again.
All right, then we'll talk about the album. Then we'll talk about something horrible. Then, and that's the recording of it. Now, now you had you had two singles, if you will, out, and then the album. What's the process? What how does it work for you guys? Because bands do it different ways these days. There's all sorts of ways to record stuff these days, isn't there?
Absolutely, and there's almost an infinite number of ways of approaching things, but no, there isn't a right or wrong way either. It's
or easy way,
or easy. Yeah, it entirely depends what you're aiming for in the first place. But I think largely the recording process of that, we'd already had all the songs written. So the very, very first thing I told the guys, and I felt quite strongly about it, and thankfully they did too, after I'd sort of persuaded them a bit.
Oh, I know, look out. He's grimacing over there. So.
Everything you hear on the album, and I know you will back me up on this, everything you hear is a performance. I didn't want to lay everything down, sort of time a line, and do all that kind of stuff that invariably goes on in recording studios these days. I wanted to capture a performance,
chopping it all
up. There's not that much Pro Tool kind of effect on it.
I could have massively improved my vocals by using there's a tool called Melodyne which will allow you to pitch correct and stuff like that. But
we don't want Cher on the album.
You believe in love. They are, see.
Hey, tell you that jacket.
That's my
you walked in here, just that jacket in Pennickers, I wouldn't have known the difference. Tell you what.
I know what to do next time now.
Next Halloween we're doing a gig and that's what you're going as, tell you.
As I was saying, it really is us performing. Obviously we didn't all perform it at the same time because logistically that is incredibly difficult to perform and record at the same time. So the first thing I actually did was just record drums. I think every single track had the drums recorded first, and then the guitar parts and the bass parts sort of came in around about the same time. You don't have to have a sequence of events for recording them. You can just record them as and when, because we knew them pretty much backwards by that time anyway. And the vocals sort of came after that. The vocals are actually recorded at home in my study. I created a makeshift vocal booth which consisted of a toilet tent. It's a true story. A toilet tent frame above me and a duvet. Yeah, and it was clean. It was clean. And when nature called, then I didn't need to but and the duvet just above me, and that actually dampened the reflections from the wall in the study, and it was surprising how effective it actually was.
Things you come up with. Fair play. So this is all self-recorded then?
Absolutely, yeah. Self-recorded, self-mixed, self-mastered.
Is that all you, or did you guys? Are you technically?
I left it all up to him. He'd record Marcel and myself, and then he'd do a lot of the mixing and then sort of share it among the three of us, going, what's your opinion? And sort of
Marcel will invariably come back and say, no, I want more cymbals. I want everything louder than everything else. And I don't know.
Typical drummer there, that's it, great. So, when you're doing it like that, I mean, it sounds great, like I said earlier, you there's so many different ways, but there's so much you can do yourself these days. Years ago, it wasn't the case. And, chucking albums out, write in if it comes easy to you, which it seems to is something that's fine. It's recording is a lengthy process when you've got other things going on. But you seem like you've got a nice what's the word? A nice routine for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sixth album due in the summer.
Well, Christmas I think actually.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas. Is it? I don't know anymore. I'm too tired.
Oh God. Right. Should we stick another track on?
Yeah. What haven't you played? I can't remember now.
I don't think I've played intro, but that's simply because
you can play that as the outro when we leave.
You could have played this. We came in.
Yeah. To be fair,
if it gave you warning to be fair.
I've done it before when I've had I'm trying to think of one like the Hellion and Electric Eye, and I thought, and I've got to be really quick now because you have to play them both as separate tracks. And I've stuck the first one on, just gone off and had a drink and just forgot about it. I come running back there. So I try not to do that because you just assume it's one song and it's not. Right. Shall I pick one then?
Yeah, go on, you pick one.
My personal favourite, probably, if I had to pick one, is Indecision.
Okay.
I don't know why.
That's interesting because that's probably my least favourite.
Is it?
It really is, yeah.
When I first listened to it, I listened to, and obviously, is it, you know, there's a couple of mellow tracks on there, you know, if I was to, you know, you guys, I think it's all about the melody in the song.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I don't think we sit down and purposely write a thrash tune or purposely write an acoustic song. That's not the thing. It's it's either born out of an original idea and we just jam out the idea and see where we go, see what works and what doesn't, or I'll already come up with a concept and we'll invariably sort of play around with the concept and it's normally the concept that dictates the style and feel of the song. And it doesn't mean to say, I mean, plus I don't like labels. I really I hate labeling myself as like a rock band or a metal band, or I mean I've been in a metal band before too, but it's that because it can restrict you. Like the track 11 on there is a very, very different one because it's me with I've got a Korg mini log synthesizer, so it's me playing through that with an acoustic backing with a Roland TS 808 plugin for the drum loop in it. This is like completely different to like anything else on the album, but I don't like that sort of sticking to a particular genre of music and sticking in that.
Well, it works well, and I say with the melody, and I was trying to think of the word, and I'm not sure if this is right, but is it earworm where you just get the and then you just find yourself humming it. So I think, what the hell is that? And that's
how did that penetrate my consciousness?
And that's what this album is. It's a great big earworm, and it's great, like, you know.
Oh, thank you. The check's in the post, by the way.
Hold on now, bank transfer. I thought we agreed on what's going on. Eddie Valley's boys, new checks. Right, I'll stick this track on now because we got the news coming up, and
really, is that time?
Gosh.
Oh, it is. Ooh,
yeah.
Blame me.
Right, I'm going to stick it on now. Here we go.
I can't Radio Tircoed, 106.5 FM, with the news on the hour.
I wanna rock. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
The RT Rock Show with Martin Kelly and Carlo Flori, live every Monday evening from 8 p.m. on Radio Tircoed 106.5 FM and online at www.thertrockshow.com. The RT Rock Show, for all your rock and metal needs.
There you go. We don't feel like youth gone wild, do we? Sitting in here, no, it's old men. Old men just having a nice natter, chilling out.
Yeah, our mugs of cocoa, slippers.
Ooh, cocoa, eh?
Oh yeah.
Right,
I'm more of a Horlicks man myself.
It'll be Ovaltine light now if you're not careful, honestly. Right, we are back at the RT Rock Show 106.5 FM with the guys from Dark Valley. Bit of indecision before the news there.
Yeah, you couldn't decide what to play, could you?
I was going to can decide on the on the title track. But,
that's right.
Not but I mean, yeah, I thought that's a banging riff on that and a cracking solo.
Thank you very much.
I was going to ask, and I can ask you both separately now. What are your influences? If you guitar, obviously, because I hear different things coming through. Firstly, guitar, and then vocal as well. As an artist, what are your influences?
That's a very, very, very good question. That's such a good question. I might actually have to come back to that.
It's such a good question. I'm out of here.
I've got to think of this. I think, well,
I mean,
I'm pretty much a guitarist by trade.
You can skim over it.
I think that sort of comes out in the music itself.
Yeah.
Vocals is something I sort of picked up very, very, very recently, and still, if I'm completely honest, I still struggle with vocals, and I've got to sort of go through the rigmarole of doing the practicing, the warm-ups and stuff like that.
Well, you should do it anyway.
You should do it anyway.
I know. The Horlicks comes in. Keep the
that's where the Horlicks comes in. Yeah, you can see where I'm heading now with that. But yeah, primarily my influences are, well, I talk about old classic bands before we came back, like Zeppelin, Purple, and stuff like that. Yeah, some of my biggest influences are probably guitarists like Jimmy Page, Blackmore. Growing up with them, and Tony Iommi's another incredible one. That's where I sort of probably get the riff from. He's still like a million times better than me, but that's what I sort of try to aspire for. It's not just the melodies and everything. It's the earworms of the riff sometimes as well. I try to aim for. In terms of vocalists, got no idea. Absolutely no idea whatsoever. It's just me. I'm my own biggest fan, my own influence.
Because I tell you, because you got like you say, you can hear like classic, classic rock and metal sort of stylings coming through, but like your vocal style's quite distinctive, and I get like a grungy flavour as well coming from you, and it's like, is that something that's, are you a fan of sort of a grungier sort of music, or are you, it's a soulful sort of, and I feel like you got a sort of, a raw, soulful style that you're singing, like, you know what I mean?
I think what I aim for when I do vocals is primarily, again, to tell a story, but I think I find it a little easier with the vocals of Dark Valley songs, largely because I wrote them. In a sense, they're sort of about my past experiences, working through the various aspects of my life. So it's, some of the songs are still sort of quite emotional inside me, and it's not that I try to purposely force that out. It's because it's either there or it's not really. But the songs like 11, for example, that's actually about my daughter.
Ah, right.
Funnily enough, and when she was,
it's said from a,
it's sort of from my daughter's perspective, and about her sort of realization that adulthood isn't all it's cracked up to be when you were little.
we all find that out.
we all find that out the hard way.
Tried for it already.
Yeah. Marcel is still in the process of trying to find that out, which is why he isn't here today.
He'll come as a shock.
Hopefully sooner than later. But and there's certain parts of that where I actually feel inside me, like I almost like feel myself welling up, if that makes any sense. And it's that kind of emotional aspect I try to sort of keep in there. And there's quite a lot of mistakes in the vocals. I'll be the first to admit it as well.
If it's your music,
you notice or not,
if it's your music, there's no such thing as a mistake. That's what I tell
exactly.
people. Yeah, you write whatever the hell you like.
Yeah, exactly. It was an intention.
Yeah, exactly.
It was not a mistake. It was intended to be that wrong key at that particular point in time.
It's called jazzing it up.
That's what jazz is, isn't it? Lots of wrong notes in the wrong place.
Play a bum note. Play it twice.
Yes.
I think
People think you meant it.
That's it. And you got a...
For me, I'm a child of the Britpop era, I guess.
Oh, now then.
So I sort of started playing guitar in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And so I grew up liking kind of Britpop, Brit rock, that kind of stuff. But had quite a good bass in
every pun intended.
The Beatles, Hendrix, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so you know, all the classic British rock and the
nice.
The blues, electric guitar rock. So.
You're probably about the same age as me, then you. It's because Carlo, who you know Carlo, yeah, he's
the last time I met Carlo, he was blind drunk.
We you and me both, and many other people. Yeah, I call him my no host now because he's never here. He's because he's moved to Aberdeen, but. We were the same, and we grew up, and he was big into his Britpop, and he's a bass player as well. And it is when we were growing up at our age, it was massive, big. And it's two contrasting sort of styles working together. Are you drummer into anything weird? Or?
Yeah, Frank Zappa. He loves Frank Zappa.
I love Frank Zappa. Yes. Oh, it's a shame he's not. Yeah, we could have played some Frank.
Oh, blimey.
Oh, well, that's a completely bonkers mix of styles.
Very much is.
Yes.
It very much
and I
is.
think that comes across in the music that we play as well. I think, really.
But like you say, you find the common ground and you work with it. And it's you're not fighting against each other to try and do anything radical. You're coming together on a unique sort of.
I think what I find, it's basically mutual respect for me.
That's
mutual respect for you.
Yeah. See, because he said it, that rings so true.
He didn't pick up on that for a while, did he? I could see him thinking, did he actually mean that?
I tell you what.
Being serious, it is that it's that mutual. Yeah, as you say, it's that common ground, isn't it? I mean, Frank Zappa's around 60s, 70s, 80s as well, and again, one of the iconic. People in music in general, and
so many different styles. He's just gone through himself.
Done everything.
So you can pick anything out of that. I was going to talk to you about. I talked offline earlier about playing live. There was a point where you were blasting out the live shows. Obviously, changed the lineup a bit now. Focused on putting the album out. Anything in the pipeline? What's the plan?
The plan is to do a world tour of Wales.
No,
it's the start. I'll give you a minute to think about that one. And there's no gigs in the diary as of yet, but we are trying to formulate plans. What we're actually trying to do this time around is to sort of formulate more of a show thing, as it were. We're not 100% sure exactly how that's going to manifest itself, but instead of just rocking up on stage with our gear, playing some tunes, sitting down again, actually sort of trying to put a proper thing together, something tangible, something you're going to come?
Well, I'm yes, definitely. I'm going to offer my services as a DJ.
Oh, right, cool.
Yeah, with vinyl, and I mean, we could. I'm thinking about doing stuff next summer. I've found a pub up the Swansea Valley where marquees and fields and things are very well possible. I've got lots of bands' addresses, but I'm not looking to have like everybody involved. I want the best, or the people with the potential that I can see that I could complement, by playing old tunes.
Will you make an exception for these guys?
Well, I was going to say, I'll give you some numbers of bands I know. If that's
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, this is it. Come the summer, you'll probably be blasting. There's so many bands I do watch, and like you say, putting on even just smiling, like, you know, look like you're enjoying it. Is you know, you watch this guys and you think that's technically amazing, but you know, watch what you're doing there. You nearly knock his head off with the thing. Just and it's I see what you mean. Not going to kiss up or anything, makeup or smoke bombs.
Well, for you, I might consider it.
Well,
Martin,
I thought we agreed share, but if for other people now, for other
that's
people.
true. I'll definitely share with you. All right?
Oh dear,
this is going downhill pretty quickly.
Right.
On that bombshell.
Let's get on to business. The album. Where can people get hold of this?
You can get hold of this by contacting the Facebook page. We have another batch of CDs that are literally on the way to us as we speak. I'm hoping the drivers are ringing doorbell now, dropping them off. Probably. It's available on Bandcamp for purchase too. You can listen to the album on any social streaming media: Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Deezer, and there's quite a few others, isn't there? That's knocking around as well. So
where's the best place to go?
Best place, probably Spotify. I'm pretty biased. I got Spotify on my phone. I tend to use that a lot, and it seems to work well. Other than that, Bandcamp, because you can actually purchase not only the album, individual tracks if you wanted to. As well.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Well, I mean, just buy the whole album. Yes.
Buy the whole album, please.
Going on, yeah, liking it, yeah. Right. Well, there are. I mean, is there anything else anything in the pipeline? In fact, you're a bassin in a new band.
Yes.
Do you want to mention that, or is that something that
am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Talk about? Okay,
you can talk about whatever you like, as long as you don't swear. You can.
As long as I don't swear, right?
That's cheer you up, haven't it?
That's really shut me up now. I got nothing to say now. I've recently joined a band called Lazarus Moon, who are they've been gigging quite heavily last year. Plan to do various gigs next year too. And I'm actually the bass player in that band, so it's something different. Again, a different discipline for me to apply to. So between the both bands, definitely keeping myself busy.
Excellent.
And I'll try and get those lads down at some point as well.
Are you one of those guys who'll pull a double gig and have both bands on the same bill, or is that too much?
No, nothing's too much.
Yeah,
nothing's too much.
If I switch it from the bass to the guitar straight away, you'd be like, oh crikey, these strings are far away from each other, really close. It's a bit weird. Or
play the guitar like a bass.
Excellent. Do you have any other bands?
No.
You seem to have put up with them, is it?
Yeah.
Hard work. It's hard work, it really is.
I'm going to have a kip when you go now, I tell you. Right. Well, on that, I'll play you out. Are you happy?
Cool. I'm happy with this interview. Thank you for the material and writing the interview for me. It was great.
No problem. Excellent.
That's been great. I'm looking forward to come down again already. We did have a difficult third album, like everyone does, but you know,
I'm sure
you've got to work through it sometimes. You know, I'm just waffling now. I'm too tired. This
is it. See, dragging it Monday as well. It's just the start of the week. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Right, I'll play you out there. Leave you guys get back home.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being on the show.
Well, you said we'll play you out on Voice of Reason, was it?
Yes, sounds good to me.
Is there anything about this track you'd like to mention, or is it just a banger?
It's just a banger, really. I actually tracked sort of again various stories that are on the album anyway, but this particular one sort of came from the point of view of listening to you in a dialogue. Sometimes don't always follow the crowd, don't always do what other people tell you to do. Sometimes your gut instinct is actually the right instinct to follow, and that was the inspiration behind the track.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Was that good?
Yeah. Dangerous advice there from Dark Valley. Yeah. Go with your gut, people.
Oh, competition.
Oh yeah.
You can't leave without mentioning competition.
See, this is why I ask you, because I've got a brain like a sieve. We've got a copy of the album to give away.
Yeah, you've got a copy of the album to give away. It's also signed.
Not only that, you've signed it as well. How do you want to do this? Do you want to give? Do we come up with an easy question or something, or what? That's what we usually do. Is we just come up with a question, because I don't like these like and share post things. It's a pain in the neck trying a question that's so easy, maybe that you can. You know, it's practically what go on, you come up with something, guys.
How many members are in Dark Valley?
There you go. That's easy. You can't argue with that.
Hey, can I answer? No, what do you mean no?
You've already got a CD.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yes. You're all right. Yeah.
So we'll run this. We'll give it a a week or something. Happy with that? Or,
I'd be interested in the answers. I really would be interested.
How many people are in the power trio, Dark Valley?
Yes.
Yeah. Because there's only two of you here tonight. That makes
That's very true. Very true.
So we'll put that out tonight now then, and we'll give it a week. I'm on next week, and it's my last show of the year, so we'll draw it then, and it'll be done before Christmas. Happy with that?
That sounds absolutely great.
Excellent. And that's it then. So cheers for coming down, guys.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure as always.
As soon as you get some gigs on the go, we'll announce them. Anything, obviously, any news or anything, let us know. We shall chuck it out on various social media platforms as usual.
Sounds awesome.
And you're always welcome to come back down and maybe bring some acoustics next time.
Yeah, we'll definitely arrange something.
No end. Asking about trouble. Right, so we'll play you out with Voice of Reason. Cheers again.
Yep,
and
thank you very much.
we'll look forward to catching up with you guys again. Here we go.
Cool. Cheers, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.